Welcome back to sleepy Palm Island. This evening the island reveals a secret café tucked among palms and mist. We step inside, meet its gentle owner, and taste his special creation, a drink prepared only for travelers who arrive on nights like this. So get comfortable, breathe with the rain slowly, and drift into tonight's story. Imagine this evening, returning slowly along the island path, skin still carrying the cool memory of the waterfalls you visited today. The waterfall stands deep in the jungle, surrounded by thick forest on every side. The constant roar mixing with birdsong and the hum of hidden life. They rise high between dark stone cliffs, water streaming in silver veils, collecting in a wide pool where the surface glimmers with reflected light. It is an exciting story in itself, and I will tell you more about that journey another time. Now, you are on the way home, moving through the jungle as night folds over the island. Here, the light changes quickly, colors fading from amber to deep indigo in only a breath. Clouds thicken above the trees, and in this season, rain comes just as quickly as the dark. It begins without warning, drops tapping first on broad leaves, then on your shoulders, then on the path ahead. Warm, heavy, steady, yet carrying no chill, only comfort. The earth releases its scent, rich and damp, with notes of frangipani blossoms and rough palm bark. Mist gathers low among the ferns, and roots shine with thin threads of water. You continue forward, listening to the rain travel from leaf to leaf, 1,000 small touches joining into one calm rhythm. Breath moves at its own pace now, settling into rhythm with the falling rain. Notice how the forehead loosens, skin smooth, eyes calm behind their lids, jaw softer than before. Crickets weave thin strands of sound. Palms sway slowly, and far away the ocean hums. Long breaths rolling against the shore. You are safe walking here, safe in this warm night, safe inside the rhythm of island weather. Each step carries you deeper into this flow. Feet steady on soft ground, grass brushing your ankles, air warm against your face. The path narrows, lined with wet ferns that bow under the weight of rain, guiding you forward. And as you walk, the forest seems to hold you, every sound part of a single rhythm, every movement connected, every detail joining together, like water finding its way home. Your path stretches ahead, narrow, lined with low ferns and roots glistening in rain. Somewhere between trunks a soft glow appears, golden, small at first, hardly more than a suggestion. It flickers gently behind curtains of leaves, steady enough to draw the eye, warm enough to stir curiosity. Step closer, slowly, hearing the wet ground compress beneath. Light widens with every movement forward, slips between branches, reflects off damp bark, casts thin streaks across the rain. Breath finds the same rhythm again. In, out, and shoulders release another layer of weight. You notice how the muscles in the back yield, how arms feel heavier, how palms are free to open. Closer now, the glow takes form, not moonlight, not fire, something steadier, anchored to a place, waiting just ahead. Golden lantern glow, suspended in rain, wrapped in jungle silence. A sign, visible through misted air. Letters forming gently in the light. Dreamer's coffee shop. Unexpected here, on this hidden path, yet exactly where it should be. Windows bright with soft amber. Rain falling across glass in smooth sheets. Under a wooden awning, a stool waits. Table glistening with drops. Bamboo chime swaying, whispering with the breeze. Step nearer. Feel warmth radiating from inside. A pocket of comfort opening in the dark. Notice the jaw looser still. Cheeks heavy. Brow smooth. Eyelids willing to fall. Pause beneath the awning. Let droplets slide from hair. Let damp clothes cool against skin. Let arms fall easily at your sides. Behind glass, movement. An old figure in black apron, hands steady, gestures unhurried. Steam rises within, curling upward, disappearing into the light. A kettle gives a soft note, clear and brief, like warm rain tapping once on wood. You may notice your shoulders sink more deeply now, weight drawn kindly toward the ground. Rain softens, becomes background, steady rhythm folded into the night. You are here on this island path, at the door of Dreamer's coffee shop, held by night, guided by light, accompanied by care. Breath continues without effort, each exhale carrying you further into calm, each inhale filling you with ease, and the body, step by step, moment by moment, settles more deeply, ready to enter this place of warmth, ready to rest. A small wooden handle waits beneath your fingers, smooth, worn by time, edges softened by countless touches. The door opens with no resistance, hinges giving a faint sigh, a gentle welcome into the golden hush inside. Air carries warmth, smelling of roasted beans, sweet butter, and the faintest trace of vanilla drifting upward from the counter. Lanterns glow in their glass frames, casting wide amber circles across carved wood, shadows layering in patient patterns. Inside, every surface carries a story. Tables polished with care, stools shaped by years of use, shelves lined with jars of herbs and beans, each label written by a steady, patient script. Steam curls from a kettle near the back, spirals upward, thins, then disappears into the light above. And then you notice him, the old man in a dark apron, shoulders relaxed, movements unhurried, every gesture shaped by years of quiet devotion. He looks up as you step inside. His eyes meet yours, warm, open, inviting without a word. A gentle smile spreads across his face, softening every line, radiating a kindness that comes from deep within, the quiet humanity of someone whose nature is simply to care. The warmth of his expression settles into the room itself, filling it with ease. You smile back without thinking, drawn by the simple comfort of being seen, of being received gently. For a moment, there is nothing else, only the glow of lanterns, the scent of roasted beans, and two smiles meeting in quiet recognition. He nods toward the counter, a small gesture, as if to say, "You are welcome here. Come, rest." And in that moment, the air feels different, not just warm, but carrying a quiet tenderness, a softness that settles around you, making it easy to feel at home. Wood beneath your steps feels sure, boards warm despite the rain outside, grain carrying heat long stored from the day. You pass a small display, round loaves wrapped in cloth, croissants resting beneath glass, surfaces glistening with melted butter, edges crisp, golden. The counter welcomes you forward, its surface smooth, dark, bearing the faint scent of polish mixed with roasted beans. Above, cups hang in a neat row, ceramic catching light, each with small differences that mark them as hand-shaped. He studies you for a long moment, eyes steady, expression patient, as though listening not only to words, but to breath itself. "You must want something warm," he says finally, voice carrying a gentle weight, tone soft, question folded inside the certainty of his offer. You nod, a small motion, and his lips turn upward, faint smile, as if he has been waiting for this. "Then let me prepare my special drink for you," he continues, "the one I've perfected over the years, a drink I always save for moments like this." You nod in return. He takes a golden fruit from the shelf, places it on the counter, knife gliding without sound, removing the crown in one careful slice. Leaves scatter a faint, sweet aroma, green and sharp, fresh. He hollows the center with measured hands, scoops softly, lets juice run into a clay bowl, amber liquid glistening under a lantern glow. Steam curls from the kettle as he pours coffee into the hollow, dark liquid mixing with fruit, rising in soft swirls, edges shimmering against yellow walls. Vanilla is added next, a pod split open, tiny seeds falling like dust into the warmth, stirred slowly with a slender spoon. From another jar, he lifts dried citrus peel, drops a sliver into the brew, watching it float, then sink, color bleeding faintly outward. A straw rests in his palm, bamboo smooth, hollow, shaped by fire. He places it inside the fruit, leans closer to breathe in the scent himself, then steps back, nodding once. Approval complete. He sets the pineapple gently before you on the dark wooden counter, surface wide and worn, grains catching droplets of condensation. The fruit gleams under a lantern light, its skin rough and golden, top neatly cut, edges moist, center alive with heat. Steam rises from its opening, carrying sweetness and depth together, aroma of roast, of vanilla, of citrus, brightening the heavy notes. You lift it slowly, feel condensation cool against fingertips, contrast to the heat rising from within. The straw meets your lips, bamboo smooth, taste arriving even before the first sip. A whisper of fruit mixed with spice. Then the liquid reaches you, warm, rich, layers unfolding in order. First, citrus, a spark of brightness, then vanilla, round and sweet, then the deep body of coffee, steady, grounding, lingering in the chest. It is unlike anything else, familiar yet new, a memory and a discovery held in the same sip. Lanterns hum in the quiet. Rain whispers at the door. Steam rises once more, curling into air, joining the rhythm of your breath. The old man watches with calm satisfaction, not asking for words, only observing, as if the act of serving has already given him the answer. Another sip, and the flavors expand again, Fruit bright at the front, vanilla soothing at the middle, coffee grounding at the end, all carried together on warmth. You lower it for a moment, hand still on its rough surface, feeling the pulse of heat continue, watching the steam curl upward, thin, steady, fading into shadows above. The old man folds his arms, leans on the counter, eyes reflecting amber glow. You bring the straw to your lips again. Sip deeper this time, flavors weaving together more fully, each note balanced, no part louder than the other. It moves through you, comforting, steady, a companion to the night. The lantern glow shifts again, reflected in the surface of the drink, shimmering briefly before dissolving back into steam. Rain continues. Outside world softened, inside world complete, with pineapple, with warmth, with time itself unfolding at the pace of each sip. Jars line the wall, cinnamon sticks bound in twine, vanilla pods curled like dark ribbons, dried citrus peel cut into thin arcs, all waiting to find their place in a drink. Moist air from outside mixes with the scent rising now, a blend of fruit and roast, sweet and earthy, comfort and brightness together. Nearby, a bamboo chime shifts, sound faint, barely there, like breath against the wood. He wipes his hands on a cloth, leans slightly forward, rests elbows on the counter, and speaks, voice low, measured, tone carrying the ease of someone who has spoken often, but always as if it were the first time. I have been here 10 years, he says, words unhurried, falling like drops into silence. Every day, coffee, sometimes for travelers, sometimes for friends, sometimes for no one but myself. He lifts another cup, inspects the rim, sets it down again, movements slow, without rush. People come, they bring stories, they leave pieces of themselves here and carry something with them when they go. His eyes drift toward the jars, toward the pineapple still steaming, toward the window where rain draws thin curtains. It is simple, he says softly, and in that simplicity there is more than enough. Silence follows, but it does not press. It expands, fills the room with gentle presence. You sip from the cup, taste richer than scent alone could suggest. Dark coffee, softened by fruit, edges smoothed by sweetness, heat steady as it moves through you. Steam rises again, meets your face, brushes your skin with invisible threads. Outside, rain continues, sound even, a quiet chorus that belongs to the night. The old man reaches for a tray, places a croissant upon it, slides it gently closer, eyes kind, expression unchanged. Butter glistens in the soft light, edges crisp, center yielding when touched. He does not rush you. He does not ask. He only provides, present in every movement. Behind him, another kettle exhales, long, slow sigh, echoing the breath of the sea far beyond the trees. You glance toward the window, see your own reflection softened by condensation. Beyond it, palms swaying in steady rhythm. Inside, warmth holds you, surrounds you, makes the outside world a distant memory. The old man continues, voice soft again, carrying weight without force. This place, he says, is a shelter for those who wander. A pause, a moment to remember that life is a stream, and all things flow within it. Sometimes we release our hold. Sometimes we choose a direction. Yet always, the current carries us forward, and our task is simply to observe, to be present with a sequence as it unfolds. He turns slightly, picks up a jar of cinnamon, taps a stick against the counter. Sound light, wood against wood. 10 years. Every morning the same. Every evening the same. And yet, always new. Because each time, someone different walks through that door. Another pause, longer this time, filled by rain, by steam, by the slow beat of time moving without notice. He looks at you, eyes reflecting lantern glow, and nods again, No need for questions. No need for answers. Only presence. Only warmth. Only the sound of rain finding its rhythm. And the night still unfolding, still waiting, ready to carry you deeper. He reaches for the kettle again, pours slowly, lets the stream fall into another vessel. The sound, quiet but certain, like a note sustained in the background of the night. You watch the liquid gather, see it swirl, surface trembling before settling, tiny circles fading into calm. His hands move without hesitation, each gesture practiced, as though 10 years of repetition have smoothed away everything unnecessary. Lantern light shifts when he leans forward. Shadows stretch across the counter, then retreat when he steps back. Outside, rain thickens for a moment, drops heavier, striking the awning with soft percussion, then easing again, as if the sky itself were breathing with you. He places a small jar on the counter, uncaps it, and the air changes. Sweet spice drifts outward, cinnamon, rich and grounding, vanilla close behind, the faintest thread of nutmeg lingering like memory. He sprinkles a little into the cup before you, stirs gently, spoon moving in slow circles, metal against ceramic, a delicate whisper. Flavors tell stories, he murmurs, voice low, tone even, a companion to the rain. They remind us where we've been. They remind us who we are. And sometimes they remind us that it is enough to simply be here. You sip again, taste deeper now, layers unfolding one after another. First the bright fruit, then the warmth of spice, then the grounding note that lingers at the back of the tongue. Steam fogs the edge of your vision, lantern light bending as it passes through. At a nearby table, a single candle flickers, flame dancing slightly in the draft from the open door. Its wax runs in slow beads down the side, collects in a pool, then hardens into stillness. The old man wipes the counter with long strokes, cloth following grain, back and forth, each movement unhurried, each leaving wood darker, more defined. People think they must chase answers, he says, eyes resting on the surface of his work. But here, they find that answers arrive when they stop chasing. He glances toward the jars again, toward the pineapple cup cooling nearby. I once had a traveler tell me this place was a dream, that he would wake and laugh, knowing it could not be real. And yet, he returned the next night, and the next, until he stopped asking which world was true. Rain softens, becomes steady again, a blanket of sound wrapping itself around the café. You lean back slightly, shoulder against wood, blanket heavier now across your arms. Inside, warmth continues to rise, layer upon layer. The glow of lanterns, the hiss of kettle, the smell of pastry as the old man lifts another tray from the oven. Golden crescents fill the air with butter and sugar, edges crisp, centers soft. He sets them down carefully, cloth beneath to catch the heat, and looks at you once more. No matter how far they wander, he says softly, people always find their way here. It is not the sign, it is not the light, it is something quieter, something that pulls them without needing to speak. His words linger, settle into the rhythm of the rain, become part of the soundscape around you. You break a piece of croissant, flaky edge crumbling, soft inside, melting on the tongue, sweetness gentle, not demanding. It pairs with the coffee, like two voices blending, neither louder, each supporting the other. You trace a finger along the cup's rim, smooth curve, familiar, cooler now than before, yet still offering warmth at its heart. The candle at the table sputters briefly, then steadies again, its flame finding balance, just as your breath finds balance with the quiet sounds around you. Another sip, another mouthful of warmth, another layer of ease that slips through the body. The old man settles onto a stool behind the counter, hands folded, eyes resting but awake, as though he is both present and part of the background. His voice returns, softer, closer to a whisper. This island teaches patience. It shows us that time belongs not to us, but to itself. We can choose to resist, or we can choose to trust. And when we trust, we see more clearly. We breathe more freely. We rest more deeply. The rain answers with steady rhythm. The kettle sighs once more. The lanterns hum faintly as their wicks consume slow oil. You sit with these sounds, with these scents, with these textures, each one a thread woven into a larger calm. He nods once, looks toward you, and lets silence return. That silence fills the café, fills the breath, fills the space between each heartbeat. And in that silence, you hear everything. Rain falling, lanterns humming, cup cooling. The night continues, unfolding in layers, every detail soft, every moment whole, every presence kind. You remain here, in the glow, in the warmth, with the old man's words, circling like embers, carried by the rain, held by the night. The croissant rests half finished, its buttery sweetness still lingering, while the pineapple cup sits quiet, steam long since faded into the lantern glow. The old man gives no more words, only a nod, as if to say, the night will continue without him needing to guide it. You rise slowly, blanket sliding from your shoulders, body heavy, yet steady, every movement unhurried, as though the café itself asks you to take your time. The door opens easily. Rain, now little more than the memory on the leaves. The air outside soft, washed clean, cool against the warmth still in your chest. Lantern light follows you for a moment, casting a gentle path onto the wet ground, before settling back inside, a beacon for whoever comes next. The old man remains behind the counter, hands folded, watching with the same kind smile that welcomed you. You carry that image with you, his presence, his words, the warmth of this place that feels both real and dream. The path ahead glistens under moonlight breaking through the clouds. Mist drifts low across the grass. Palms sway in long, quiet arcs, and the ocean breathes its endless rhythm in the distance. Each step feels softer, as though the earth itself has loosened its hold. Breath moves easily, shoulders free, mind quiet, content to follow the night. The trail narrows, winds back toward home. Lantern glow of the café fading behind you until it becomes part of the darkness, part of memory, part of the island's gentle rhythm. You know it will be there again on some evening when rain begins, when the path calls, when the island itself decides to guide you back. For now, you walk on toward the familiar shelter waiting, carrying warmth in your chest, carrying quiet in your breath, carrying the ease of a night that asks for nothing more. As you reach the doorway of home, you pause once, listening to the ocean's hush, feeling the night steady around you, allowing the body to rest completely. Inside, the room waits, still and safe, ready for sleep. You step across the threshold, lie back, and the rhythm of the island carries you further into calm, into silence, into rest.